Welcome everyone to Legends of Professional Wrestling. This week on the Mat Classics from the Boston Garden, you're going to see, if you don't already know by now, the premier wrestler of the WWF, maybe the WWF, Tri-WF at that particular time. Yes, Chief J. Strongbow. This week we have a great array of professional wrestling, so we hope you enjoy it right here on Legends of Professional Wrestling. So right here, Legends of Professional Wrestling, right here this week. Keep it complete right here on your source of community cable with who? The Boston bad boy, Rocky Raymond, has all the footage from all over the world. And this week, a premier star in the Tri-WF, and the WWF, if you will, the Indian Chief, Chief J. Strongbow. In some circles, he was known as Joe Scarpa in his earlier days, basically back in the NWA days in Florida, Alabama, Georgia, what have you. Chief J. Strongbow became a big legend right here in New York City, just like I pictured it, Madison Square Garden. You see some great pictures here of the Indian Chief J. Strongbow with his many headdresses. He used to come down the aisle with his, whether it be his bells, his tomahawk. As you can see a picture right here with the Showboat Sonny King, which he first won his first tag team championship with the Showboat Sonny King. And they defeated the great team of, I believe it was Professor Tanaka and Mr. Fuji, then beat Sonny King, but they beat Baron Mikel Cicluna and King Curtis for the tag team championship. As you can see right here, an old-time favorite from Morgan's Corner, Arkansas, Haystack Calhoun. Chief J. Strongbow was a tag team partner with a great array of professional wrestlers, whether it be Sonny King or whether it be Victor Rivera. As you can see him right here in Madison Square Garden with Victor Rivera. And you can see he tagged up many times with other great stars such as Wild Bull Curry's son right there. And you can see all the great pictures of Pedro Morales with Sonny King and Chief J. Strongbow after they had won that title. And all the great things that have come that way with Chief J. Strongbow, making it down in the NWA, but not being as popular as Joe Scarpa as he was as the Indian Chief, Chief J. Strongbow. Here with Victor Rivera, there's a shot of the champion Pedro Morales at that particular time. Chief J. Strongbow, like I said, was a great number 2 man. He was a very big name here in the Tri-WF. He was the number 2 slot after Danucci. Then you see another shot here with Chief J. Strongbow with this headdress that I had just on with the Showboat Sonny King. And all the great matches that you're going to see this week on the Mat Classics. Don't go away. We got some great footage. As you can see, Chief J. Strongbow with his attire. He had a tomahawk chop. He had his armbands, his chest protector. And most of all, he had that peace pipe he always used to carry around, that tomahawk chop. He used to catch you with those great moves he had when he was wrestling. He used to go into that war dance, go into that Indian war dance. It's a bloody Strongbow. And he used to go into that baseball slide, hit you with that big famous knee lift, and then he would also have a great tag team partner in Bruno Sammartino, because I have seen him wrestle in Boston Garden with Bruno against the international tag team champions, the Mongols. And basically, you can see Haystack Calhoun getting helped out of the ring by Bruno Sammartino and Chief J. Strongbow. You can see him getting help back to the ring after Haystack was attacked by one of his opponents. And one of the great things that happened in the tag team corridor of the Tri-WF, the premier wrestlers were the Valiants, the Dean Hoes and Tony Gurrias, whether it be the Samoans. Strongbow was always in that tag team picture. And you can see him right here with, I believe that's Johnny Valiant getting clocked off the head with the chair. And you can see all these great pictures. Here's a picture of the Spoiler against Chief J. Strongbow. Strongbow wrestled them all. He was, like I said, the number 2 slot under Bruno Sammartino. There's Buddy Wolf with Chief J. Strongbow. And he basically stayed in the tag team. There was really no need to put the world championship on Chief J. Strongbow. There's Fiery Fred Blassie, the Pacific Coast champion, with Haystack Calhoun in a tag match. And then we have some more coming up with Blassie and Strongbow. As you can see, Fiery Fred Blassie was known as the vampire of professional wrestling. He used to go on there and bust you open with his teeth. He was known to file his teeth on interviews and get them nice and sharp for his matches. Here's one of Strongbow and George the Animal Steel. And basically some of the things that you're going to see this week, like I said earlier on, you're going to see the great mat classics from the Boston Garden, and you're going to see the great mat classics. I tell you great because the mat classics this week are going to be Chief Jay Strongbow getting his world title shot against superstar Billy Graham, and then his return match inside the 15-foot high steel cage. There's Strongbow outside the ring as he got tossed outside the ring. And there's another one, a little dazed and amazed. It's Chief Jay Strongbow. I believe that's Sunnyside Arena in New York, I believe, with that low ceiling. And there's another shot, yeah, that low ceiling. I believe that was the Sunnyside. They used to have shows there. Weekly, monthly, I believe it was every 3 weeks, I believe. Not like the days now. They only have Madison Square Garden once every 3 months, maybe. But they used to run New York each and every month, and they used to go in between with Long Island, and then they'd go to Sunnyside. And there's Strongbow with a chair now as our referee, Nick Crow, I believe, trying to get the chair away from the Indian, the wild Indian, Chief Jay Strongbow. When he went into that war dance, Daddy, you better get out of the way because you're ready for some tomahawk chopping and some knee lifting and some baseball sliding. And there's Fiery Fred Blassie. I believe that's Madison Square Garden again. A great picture of Chief going into his war dance and Fiery Fred Blassie begging off. And some of the great matches that Strongbow had. Here's another one with Tarzan Tyler and Luke Graham. They were the tag team champions. And you see Strongbow getting choked by Tarzan Tyler. And Strongbow right there going into his war dance. And like I mentioned, when he went into that war dance, there was no control in this wild Indian. He was wild, and he went wild. He used to hit you with everything he had, and he gave you everything he got. He was a great professional. He gave you a good show, and that's why they called him the premier wrestler, Chief Jay Strongbow. As you can see him right here with Crazy Luke Graham. Crazy Luke Graham, another premier wrestler in the old Tri-WF, traveled all over the world. And basically some of the great things that Strongbow did, he did have the tag team championship with Sonny King. Here's a match with Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji and Chief Jay Strongbow, they had many bouts up and down the East Coast because the tag team title went from Chief Jay Strongbow and Sonny King beat Baron Cicluna and King Curtis Iaukea. Then Tanaka and Fuji beat Sonny King, Chief Jay Strongbow. Then Chief Jay Strongbow and Billy White Wolf won a tournament over the Executioners. Then basically Ken Patera injured Billy White Wolf in that match where he put Billy White Wolf on the swinging neck breaker and had Billy White Wolf out of professional wrestling. Here's another shot of Stan the Man Stasiak with the ice picks on Chief Jay Strongbow. And then at that particular time, Fuji and Saito were the tag team. And then it became another Indian that we learned to know, Jules Strongbow, which became tag team champions when they beat the Samoans. And another tag team fact, Pedro Morales and Bob Backlund beat the Wild Samoans at Shea Stadium 2 straight falls, but they had to give up the belt due to the fact that Bob Backlund was already the WWF champion, and at that particular time, the sanctioned and supervised by the commission did not want, Backlund to have both belts. You can only defend one title, and they had to give up the belts. And there's Iron Mike McCord, better known in some areas as Austin Idol, against Chief Jay Strongbow in a bear hug. And some of the great, I believe that's another great, I think that's Buddy Wolf with Chief Jay Strongbow. I can't clearly see it, but I'm pretty sure that it's Buddy Wolf with the bear hug on Chief Jay Strongbow. And some of the great matches. There's Nikolai Volkov, the big Russian, when he first came in, with a bear hug on Strongbow. And we have a tag team match, I think that's Tanaka and Fuji, or Tanaka and someone against Strongbow. And they're attacking him on the ropes. And then you see Chief Jay Strongbow sitting up on the backside of Haystack Calhoun in one of the early tag team matches. Strongbow tagged with just about everybody. He had a great knowledge of tag team wrestling. That's why he was tag team throughout the WWF with several tag team partners. And there's Chief J Strongbow with Moondog Lonnie Main. Many people may remember Moondog Lonnie Main. He used to go on the interviews. He used to bite down on razor blades. He used to bite glasses and break the glasses with his teeth. And he also used to swallow a couple of goldfish. Here's another one with Strongbow and Moondog Lonnie Main. And that match was one of the semi-final matches, because years ago they used to have the main event. They used to have the semi-final. They used to have the tag team attraction, the special attraction, maybe a ladies match, maybe a midget match. They'd mix the card up a little bit. It wouldn't be the same matches over and over again, 17, 18 times with the same wrestlers on the same shows. And there's another one with Moondog Lonnie Main. Must have been a return match, because I can see that Lonnie Main got red tights on in this one. And I believe that's Sunnyside Garden too, I believe. Here it is, the Irish whip out of the corner with Moondog Lonnie Main. And there's another one, Strongbow, I believe, won that match by putting Lonnie Main in the sleeper. There's another one with the ice picks on Strongbow, and there was a lot of liking to Strongbow because he was very, very popular with the fans. He used to come down that aisle. You heard those, when he came through that curtain, you hear the bells ringing. You heard the people cheering, Chief J, Chief. They wanted the Chief all the time. He was the number 2 slot underneath Bruno Sammartino for a long, long time. And let's go to the part of that program I believe that we can call the Mat Classics from the Boston Garden. We're going to go to the first one, which will have superstar Billy Graham against Chief J Strongbow. And we're here at the Mat Classics from the Boston Garden, the legends of professional wrestling, the best of the Indian Chief, Chief J. Strongbow this week from the Boston Garden, and it's the Boston Garden, August 22nd, 1980. Chief J. Strongbow versus superstar Billy Graham, the #1 contender for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship. Chief J. Strongbow, as you can see in the ring, the superstar Billy Graham. And you can see the Chief getting ready in for the action. It's Chief J. Strongbow and superstar Billy Graham as Strongbow goes right in now, pounding on the head of superstar Billy Graham. The Indian Chief, Chief J. Strongbow, one of the more premier wrestlers here in the WWF, as the Chief goes in for a chop, known for those high chops. Oh yeah, the knee lifts as well as that baseball slide into the sleeper. And it's Strongbow off the ropes, big boot now, sending superstar Billy Graham reeling. And the Chief goes into his war dance with a front face headlock now on the champion. It's Chief J. Strongbow now, cinching up now. And superstar Billy Graham finds himself now, and he reverses it now with a snapmare on that top rope. It's superstar Billy Graham. Big knee lift, but nobody home as the Chief escapes that one. Working on the leg now, the Indian Chief, Chief J. Strongbow. Oh yeah, don't get this Indian mad now, because when he goes into that war dance, oh, watch out. Big chop now across the chest of superstar Billy Graham. One of the more colorful men in professional wrestling. More color than a box of crayons. As you see Strongbow now, looks like he might be going to that war dance. Hold on now, Chief. And it's superstar Billy Graham with a side headlock now as he rakes the eyes of the Indian Chief, Chief J. Strongbow from Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Oh yeah, wrestle them all here in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. And the Chief now railing outside all around the ring now as he seems to be a little blinded now as superstar Billy Graham now, Strongbow going for that eye rake of his own, and superstar Billy Graham finds himself on the receiving end of some eye rakes of the Chief, Chief J. Strongbow, the wild Indian from Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Oh yeah, he's raking the eyes, giving superstar a little taste of his own medicine here tonight at the Mat Classics, the legends of professional wrestling, right here from the Boston Garden. Outside the ring is Strongbow now. He rams superstar's head into that steel corner post. Oh, they're outside the ring now, into that plexiglass. And it's superstar Billy Graham now, looks to be a little bloody at this particular point. And Strongbow coming into the ring, is going to that war dance. Watch out now. Oh, big boot to the midsection. Oh, there's that big knee lift by the Chief. He's going wild. Another knee lift now, sending superstar Billy Graham railing off the ropes now. It's Strongbow. Oh, he's got him in that sleeper hold. That's that famous Indian Chief J. Strongbow sleeper hold. Is he going under? Is superstar Billy Graham going to drop the title here tonight, here in the Boston Garden? The legends of professional wrestling coming to you here from the great Mat Classics. Oh yeah, Strongbow cinching up nice and tight now. And Strongbow now looking to get a victory here. And it's our referee, Tony Altamori. Superstar shoots Strongbow off the ropes. Baseball slide. Strongbow back in with that sleeper hold, made famous by the Indian Chief now. Superstar outside the ring. They're both going at it back and forth now. It's Strongbow and Superstar. Superstar back in the ring. And Strongbow a little late now as the referee, Tony Altamori, signaling for the bell now. And it looks like, yeah, Strongbow's going in for that sleeper hold again. He wants to finish off superstar Billy Graham now as Tony Altamori. And Strongbow going for the cover, but the official match and the time is over now. I think they're going to stop the match due to the bleeding of superstar Billy Graham. And Strongbow's going wild now. He rams his head into that turnbuckle now. This wild Indian from Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Looks like he is going wild on superstar Billy Graham here tonight at the Boston Garden. And the winner of the fall in the match, superstar Billy Graham. I guess Strongbow got counted out earlier on. As you can see, they're still going action. And in this battle royal tonight, we got Big Bruiser Brody, we got the Executioners, Gas House Gilbert, Tor Kamata, Billy White Wolf, Larry Zabisco, Johnny Rhodes, Manuel Soto, Pete Sanchez, Pistol Pete Sanchez. Oh yeah, we got them all right here. Stan the Man Stasiak's in there, as well as Big Nikolai Volkov, as well as the Olympic strongman Ken Patera. Oh yeah, the winner of this match will get a shot at the living legend Bruno Sammartino. Oh, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship. Johnny Rivera's in there. Chief J. Strongbow's in there. SD Special Delivery Jones. Baron Mikel Cicluna. The names go on and on right here at this annual Battle Royal. We hope you enjoyed the best of Andre the Giant, the little footage that we had. And they're going at it. Right here at the Boston Garden. It's wild action. Executions in there against Johnny Rivera. Patera and Johnny Rivera. It looks like, yes, Pat Patterson's in the corner with the Executioner. Ken Patera's battling it out with Johnny Rivera. Doug Gilbert's in there. Gas House Doug Gilbert. SD Jones is in there. They're trying to get someone over that top rope. Nikolai Volkov and the Executioner. Nikolai hits Johnny Rods. SD Special Coco Jones is in there. Gonzalez eye-rakes Nikolai. They're trying to work on Patera. The Executioners are working on Patera. Pat Patterson, better known as Patricia Patterson in the underworld, is in there. Johnny Rods clips Billy White Wolf. Big Bruiser Brody's in there. As well as Stan the Man Stasiak with the hot punch. SD Delivery Jones looking for a piece of chicken in the middle of the ring. As well as I believe in the corner we got someone going at it. Looks like Torquemada. Pat Patterson's in there. SD Special Delivery Jones and Patera. Nikolai Volkov got hold of Brody. Johnny Rivera smashing down on him. Gas House Gilbert takes a wild swing at Billy White Wolf while Nikolai Volkov holds on. And SD Special Delivery Jones and Sanchez put the boots to Torquemada. Doug Gilbert breaks it up. The Executioner clips the side of SD Special Delivery Jones as SD headbutts Doug Gilbert. Patera's in the corner with Patterson. Johnny Rods is on the back of Patterson. Larry Zbyszko with Gas House Gilbert in the corner. Stasiak picking his spots. Nikolai and Stasiak just threw out Johnny Rivera. They're trying to get Patera over the top rope over here. We got the Executions with the mask on backwards. Johnny Rods and Pete Sanchez now going after the Executioners. Sanchez clips Rods. It's wild here. It's a battle royal. It's a wild battle royal. Torquemada taking a break in the corner. Baron Mikel Cicluna gets a shot by Johnny Rods. They're all going crazy here. And it looks like Pistol Pete Sanchez was going to clock somebody. And Patterson and Stasiak are going at it. Jose Gonzalez and Johnny Rods is going at it. Executions are still in there. Nikolai's still in there. Zbyszko's in there. Big Nikolai Volkov. He's a big one. He's the man. He's the big one. As you see outside the ring go two people. SD Joe. There goes Patera. Larry Zbyszko drop kick Patera out. And Gonzalez and Zbyszko are celebrating. Oh, he hammers him again with a forearm. Strongbow on the Executioner in the corner now. Patera up on the table. He wants back in. He wants to get back in this battle royal. But to no avail. Patterson's still in there. And it looks like Johnny Rods almost went over. Gonzalez came close to going over that top rope also. Oh yeah, this is the annual top rope battle royal. Over the top. And it looks like Gas House Gilbert now hammering down on Zbyszko again. Nikolai and Billy White Wolf. The Execution's still. The Strombow's going into his dance against Stasiak now. Big boot to the midsection of Stasiak. Followed up by a chop, a boot, another boot, and another chop. And Stasiak's all over the place. Trying to get Stasiak out. Billy White Wolf and Strongbow. Oh, they came close, but to no avail. The Executions are still in there. Johnny Rods is in there. Baron Mikel Cicluna. As well as Nikolai Volkov and Johnny Rods in the far corner. Pete Sanchez taking a break. There goes one of the Executioners. Two of the Executioners. The Indians and the Executioners now. All balled up now like a big snowball. And they roll right over that top rope as Johnny Rods gives a helping hand. In the corner, you got Torquemada now. Just taking a break. You got Stasiak, Gonzalez, Rods, Pete Sanchez, and Stasiak. Nikolai. Oh, there goes Johnny Rods. He gets thrown over by Pistol Pete Sanchez. And you got Baron Mikel Cicluna
Jose Gonzalez, Stasiak. Look at the big Baron. The Baron's taking it on his own. Oh, looks like two men throw him out. There goes big Baron McAllister Cologne, a big Nikolai on the back now of Gonzalez. Oh, we're going to turn this one into a six-man tag. Big Tor Kamata gets up now after his big rest. Stasiak, Kamata. And it looks like we got Gonzalez, Sanchez, and Zbyszko. And Tor Kamata now begging off now. Want a little time with the team. They want to negotiate. They want to make some negotiations. As you can see, Larry Zbyszko, Pete Sanchez, and Jose Gonzalez are going to be going up against Stan the Man Stasiak, the man from the Orient, Tor Kamata, with his deadly feet, deadly salt, and the man from Portland, Oregon, I believe Stan the Man Stasiak. Kamata and Zbyszko, Nikolai and Sanchez, Gonzalez and Stasiak. They're all pairing off now. Big Nikolai gets ducked under, hits the top turnbuckle as Sanchez sneaks away. And it looked like they got Big Tor Kamata out. Big Tor went through the ropes. Big Nikolai in the corner now. Gonzalez, oh, he caught a knee, Gonzalez. Stasiak in there with Pistol Pete Sanchez. Oh, he caught him, he clipped him. He clipped him with that hard punch. Watch this Stasiak, he's gonna ram him together. Little do-si-do. Stasiak catches a forearm by Pistol Pete with a big right hand now. Ringing the bells of Stan Stasiak. Oh, Stasiak caught him with the hard punch. Threw him over the top rope. Now it's Gonzalez, Stasiak, and Big Nikolai Volkov. Unbelievable. Big drop kick by Gonzalez. Another drop kick on Nikolai. Gonzalez holding his own here against these two big giants, Nikolai Volkov and Big Stan the Man Stasiak. And the winner of this battle royal gets to meet the living legend Bruno Sammartino. Oh, he almost hit Nikolai with the big hot punch. Ducked out just in time. Oh, he blocked it again now as Gonzalez, faster than a whip. Forearm smash against Big Nikolai Volkov. And it's Stasiak now moving in. It looks like trouble for Gonzalez. Big headbutt. Big boot to the midsection of Gonzalez. Backing up with a big one. Oh, he caught him in the midsection now. And they're easily going to take him over the top rope. These two men, Nikolai Volkov, Stan the Man Stasiak. Are they going to go at it? Looks like they're talking about something. No. All right, they're going to call the referee in. They're going to call the referees in now. I believe they're going to go for a coin toss here. I believe so. And the winner of this coin toss. Here's the return match. Steel Cage, Boston Garden, September 19th, 1980. Chief Jay Strongbow against Superstar Billy Graham for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship. And here's the action. And it's Strongbow and Superstar Billy Graham now. And Strongbow going right after that belt now as the Indian Chief Jay Strongbow. Oh, he's got that belt. He rams it across the head now, Superstar Billy Graham. And Superstar Billy Graham going for high grounds as he's going up on that steel cage, trying to get away from this wild Indian Chief Jay Strongbow on the best of Chief Jay Strongbow. The man from Pawhuska, Oklahoma, wrestled all the contenders in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Keeping that number one slot open for himself right here tonight as he gets his title shot in his return match against Superstar Billy Graham inside the 15-foot high steel cage. It's Strongbow going for the door now as Billy Graham grabs his leg. And he's got that shirt around the Indian Chief's throat now as Superstar Billy Graham starting to choke down the Indian Chief Jay Strongbow. Superstar going for the door now, but Strongbow will have nothing of this going on as he pulls him back in by the tights. And Strongbow going for the door. And Strongbow going up without that high steel cage as Strongbow trying to get out of the ring and win the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship. Superstar Billy Graham with the Superstar Bear Hug on the Indian Chief from Pawhuska, Oklahoma, the number one contender for this championship. Strongbow never holding a world title at this particular time. A shot here at Superstar and the victory would be the first time an Indian would hold the belt. And it's Strongbow now putting the boots to superstar Billy Graham. Big boot to the midsection. And Strongbow backing up. Looks like he's going for that big famous, the big knee lift now. Sending superstar Billy Graham reeling. And it's Strongbow now. He's going for that door. He's trying to go over the top anyway out to win this title. Superstar Billy Graham pulls him back in now, puts the boots heavy to the Indian. And it's Superstar Billy Graham. He's jumping out now. He's trying to get over that steel cage as Strongbow rams his head into that steel cage. Sending Superstar Billy Graham reeling now. And it looks like Strongbow's looking for a little bit of blood. Going into that Indian Chief Jay Strongbow war dance. Has he got him in that reverse headlock, or is he choking him? And it's Superstar Billy Graham with an eye rake on Chief Jay Strongbow. And it's into the steel cage with the face of the Indian now. And it looks like Superstar is going to rearrange the face of Chief Jay Strongbow. And he rams him in for the second time now. And it looks like Strongbow might be busted wide open here. And Superstar in with a right hand now on the Indian. Looks like he's going for a blatant bite on the forehead. And Superstar Billy Graham finds the Indian railing all over the place. Couple of right hands now, and Strongbow off the ropes now. Duck down, and Strongbow railing a chop to the head of Superstar Billy Graham. A second chop now, and Superstar Billy Graham starting to weaken. And the Indian going into that war dance. Could be trouble for Superstar Billy Graham. Into the abdominal stretch now. The Indian putting the abdominal stretch on Superstar Billy Graham. This is a steel cage match. You can only win this bout by going over the top or through the door. This 15-foot high steel cage, and it's Strongbow now. Big knee now, nobody home. Superstar Billy Graham. Strongbow a little disoriented, sending Superstar Billy Graham into that steel cage, looking for a way out. He throws him in again now. He's near the door, Superstar's near the door. And the winner of the fall in the match, Superstar Billy Graham. Strongbow disoriented in the ring, a bloody mess now as Superstar Billy Graham, a victory over the Indian Chief Jay Strongbow here at the Mat Classics. The legends of professional wrestling from the Boston Garden. As you can see, a bloody Strongbow working his way back to the dressing room. He's going to need 50. And we're back here, Chief Jay Strongbow versus Executioner number 1, 1976. It's the Indian Chief Jay Strongbow from Pawhuska, Oklahoma, against Executioner number 1, better known as Killer Kowalski, under the hood. And Strongbow has those bells on. He wants to whack him upside the head with those bells. And it's Strongbow against Executioner. Now they're crisscrossing in the ropes. And it's Strongbow with the baseball slide on the Executioner with a big chop now. As Executioner number 1 finds out about the speed of Chief Jay Strongbow. He's throwing those feet at him. He's throwing those hands at him. And Executioner number 1 now with the hair pull on the Indian Chief. Putting the boots to him hot and heavy now. It's Executioner number 1 with Chief Jay Strongbow from Pawhuska, Oklahoma. This is the best of Chief Jay Strongbow, an hour of all the greatest matches of the Indian Chief from the Boston Garden, the Great Mat Classics, the legends of professional wrestling, if you will. The big Executioner on that top rope now. He falls off that top rope. Executioner number 1 now. You can see Strongbow with that sleeper hold. And he's working on the wrist now of Executioner. And Strongbow now gets his eyes raked by the Executioner, better known as Walter Killer Kowalski. There he goes with that claw hold. If that's not a giveaway, nothing is. Famous for that claw hold, Walter Killer Kowalski. Maybe you remember when he jumped off the top rope and cut the air off of Yukon Eric. And he's putting the boots to Strongbow hot and heavy now as the Killer Kowalski, known as the Executioner here tonight. Strongbow going into his war dance now. A couple of boots to the midsection. He's dancing all around now. And Kowalski, better known as Executioner tonight, from behind catches a big knee lift now. Sends him reeling. And it's Strongbow going into that Indian war dance. Big knee lift. Sending the Executioner reeling now. And he's whipping him off the ropes now. The big Executioner. He catches that chop. Catches that big chop of Strongbow, and Strongbow got him in that sleeper hold. And the referee, Eddie Santa Maria, is he going to ring the bell? Is the Executioner going to call it quits? No, he gets to those ropes. You got to break that hold, Strongbow. Here it is, 1, 2, 3. And Strongbow steals this one out. And we're back here, tag team match here in the Boston Garden. Chief J Strongbow with his partner, High Chief Peter Maivia. And they're going to be meeting Eric and Pierre, the Lumberjacks. It looks like we got some Indians outside the ring here tonight. Strongbow might have brought a cousin of his own from the Indian Reservation in Oklahoma. And it's Eric, the big lumberjack, against the High Chief Peter Maivia. Maivia with a side headlock, Eric with a top wrist lock, and they're going in for reversal, but no avail as Eric scoots out. And it's back and forth, winding up each other's arms now. Maivia and Eric, the big lumberjack, and Maivia caught him with a headbutt. Maivia kicks him outside the ring, and Pierre and Eric going for higher grounds as Strongbow coming out with a chair. And you got Eric against Maivia in the corner now. They tag out, and Pierre, lumberjack, and Maivia tag Strongbow. Strongbow coming into the ring, but the referee didn't see the tag. Tony Altamori, Strongbow chops Pierre, and it's Strongbow and Pierre in the ring now. Big chop by Maivia. Strongbow and Maivia celebrating, but don't celebrate too quick. Big chop on Eric. And Strongbow now and Pierre. And it's Pierre back in the ring with Strongbow. Strongbow goes between the legs now. And High Chief Peter Maivia comes in to try out Pierre. Hits him with a big headbutt. Sends him reeling. And they're going back and forth. It's Peter Maivia and Eric, the big lumberjack. They're going crazy. Maivia hits him with 15, 16 chops. Big headbutt now. Snap mare by Maivia. Hits the ropes. Catches him with a shoulder tackle. And Mr. Fuji against High Chief Peter Maivia and Chief J Strongbow, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Tanaka and Fuji, a premier tag team here in the WWF. And it's Tanaka Maivia, but they're going to let Tanaka do his ceremonial salt ceremony here. And Eddie Santa Maria going to let Maivia do his ceremony. Oh yeah, the Samoan, High Chief Peter Maivia, the grandfather of The Rock, if you will. And it's Professor Tanaka and High Chief Peter Maivia. Here's the wrestling action now. Tanaka, oh! Wild chop by Tanaka, nobody home. As Strongbow plays a little do-si-do. And Tanaka wants to know what's going on here. And for a full Nelson by High Chief Peter Maivia. And Fuji comes running in. Catches his own partner with a chop. And it's Tanaka with a full Nelson on Maivia. Oh, he caught him again now. Fuji and Tanaka off the mark here tonight on the Best of Chief J Strongbow. Oh yeah, we're halfway through. We've got another half for you. It's Strongbow and Tanaka in the middle of the ring now. And it's Chief J Strongbow shooting into the ropes now by Tanaka. A little crisscross. And he says, stop, look at the highlight. Oh, he caught him with a chop. And Strongbow and, oh, it looks like Tanaka and Fuji are really off the mark tonight. Side headlock now by Maivia. A little crisscross now as Fuji and Maivia. Oh, no, this isn't going to work on Maivia. And Fuji caught. And they're both going to catch a chop now. Oh, Maivia and Strongbow. Tanaka and Fuji not really on it tonight. And Strongbow with a side headlock now. And they're running around now. Fuji's running back and forth. Oh, looks like Maivia got the pants of Fuji down. Trying to pants him. Trying to pants him here tonight. The land of the rising sun, if you will. The moon is out tonight. And Mr. Fuji rubbing against that turnbuckle. Oh, good God. And Strongbow now in the ring now with Mr. Fuji. A little crisscross now, and Fuji and Strongbow. Strongbow down with the baseball slide. Oh, catches him with a big chop, and Fuji sent reeling. Strongbow going into that war dance. Don't get him going. Don't get him going. Throwing that war dance in with a tomahawk chop. Before you know it, you'll be in the sleeper now. As Tanaka catches Strongbow now. And Maivia gets attacked by Strongbow, and Maivia comes in hot and heavy. Couple of chops of his own now. Headbutt. Another one by Maivia. A big headbutt sending Fuji now. And another one on Tanaka. 1, 2, 3. And the first fall of the match goes to Maeva and Strongbow, and now Tanaka getting chopped by Maeva. Irish whip into the corner now by the High Chief, and Tanaka catches him now. Catches him with a shuka. And Tanaka kicks him with a deadly chop. Choking him, a blatant chokehold by Tanaka. Tanaka was known for his moves like this, these chokeholds. And Fuji's right in there choking away on Strongbow. And Tanaka hits Maeva with another chop, and it looks like the big tab by Maeva. Strongbow in the ring now. And Tanaka, another thrust to the throat of Chief J Strongbow. They're choking away on Strongbow. Fuji in the corner. Maeva over the top rope. This is getting out of control here. Tanaka on Strongbow. Strongbow, a blatant chokehold. Fuji backing him up. Right into the throat. Strongbow looks like he's going for the cover. 1, 2. The referee calling for the bell. And they're going to disqualify Tanaka and Fuji. The winner of the fall of the match, High Chief Peter Maeva and Chief J Strongbow. The best of Strongbow tonight. The Battle of the Chiefs. He got attacked before the bell by Maeva. Unbelievable. This is the match. This is the match where Maeva and the Strongbow feud will end here tonight. It's the big one. Oh yeah, Strongbow and Maeva, they turned on each other. They went crazy. The Chiefs against each other here tonight. Maeva with a blatant chokehold on Strongbow. Strongbow coming back with some feet. And he's getting the Indian going. Oh, she's going too. Up and down. And Strongbow going into that wall dance. Big knee lift by Strongbow on the High Chief. High Chief with a low blow on Strongbow. Into the mice picks now, and Strongbow coming back. Chops Maeva, the Indian Chief. Jay Strongbow with a big knee lift on this big feud. They're outside the ring. It's Maeva and Strongbow. Oh, what's this, a chair? Oh, across that big Samoan's head. And it's Strongbow and Maeva outside the ring. The referee, Eddie Santa Maria, can't control this one. They're going with headbutts back and forth. Strongbow pulling Maeva outside the ring. Oh, in the timekeeper's table now. This is the feud that must end here tonight in Boston. Strongbow and Maeva, big knee lift by Strongbow. Maeva sent railing now, and Strongbow going to his war dance. And it's High Chief Peter Maeva railing into that corner. Strongbow chops him now. He whips him into that corner post. Oh no, a big boot. Strongbow caught. Legs on the ropes. And it's a 3 count. Maeva wins this. With the living legend Bruno Sammartino. It's it's BBB, the only man that can bring the oldest, the best, the foundation of professional wrestling to Boston. Here he is, the living legend Bruno. Tell him a couple of words in Italian, Bruno.
Buongiorno a tutti voi cari paesani di qui di Boston, sono tanto contento di trovarmi qui in Boston, vi saluto a tutti e vi ringrazio sempre per tutti gli anni fa che mi avete dato tanto il coraggio e il supporto qui a Boston.
And remember to watch Empire Pro Wrestling, the best of the best. The living legend's going to be there. The interview's coming. Watch it from 10 to 11 on the Grade 8 with who? The living legend.
Well, thank you, Rocky. Looking forward to it.
The best there is. Bruno Sammartino, be there. Right here in Revere Beach, the Saints Sculptors. You better be here all over the coast to coast from Boston to Bangor and back. I'm the Boston Bad Boy. I want to tell you about what's going on this week and all the great things. But remember to watch my show on Wednesdays. You already know about that one on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then in Saugus, we're going to be in Saugus from 9 to 10 and 10 to 11. So I want you to be there with me and Peanut and Bella. Be there. Oh, we're back here, Empire Pro Wrestling, the best of the best. Catch it each and every Wednesday night. Keep it tight, keep it right. Right here at your source of community cable. I'm the Boston Bad Boy. You're not. I am. So what? Who cares, right? I am the legendary man from Revere. That's right. I can get it from here to Park Square. That's right. Be there or be square right here each and every week. Keep it right, keep it tight on Wednesday nights. That's right. From 8 to 9, 9 to 10, do it all over again on Saturdays. That's right, we loop it and toop it right here. And I hope you know that this camera was the best of the best right here. It's a lot of date. It's like me.
I'm a little heavy in my seat, but I'm still light on my feet. That's right. Right here, the Bruno Sammartino cam. That's right. Was signed right here on Matt Classics headquarters. That's right. With who? The living legend, Bruno Sammartino, tutti italiani. You know, the old interview. He said it over and over and over again. I'm going to give you 101% right there, all the friends from the North End with Bruno. But this week, I hope you enjoyed all those great Matt Classics from the Boston Garden. We got a lot more to come, and next week, you're going to see the Valiant Brothers, Handsome Jimmy, Luscious Johnny, right here on the Matt Classics headquarters. You're going to see the Valiant Brothers in a big battle royal with Andre the Giant, as well as many, many more Matt Classics to come. So if you want to see the best, you want to see the best of yesteryear, you want to see it all right here on Revere TV, each and every week, you can keep it complete. And we're on in Saugus, as well as other local cable stations around. And we're going to see all the great, great footage that I took with this beautiful camera, the Bruno Sammartino cam. And if you want to go to my site, Empire Pro Res at AOL.com, and you want to see a particular match that you might have saw at the Boston Garden, you can start at Lou Albano in the cage against Bruno. You can go all the way up to Peter Maivia, The Rock's grandfather, in the cage. I got him, that's right. And remember, I'm the only one. The one that's the one of the only one that has the match for Madison Square Garden. You may have seen it right here on Revere TV. You can only see it here. You're only able to see it on cable, that's right. We're not on any of the other shows, these half-an-hour shows that are on TV that are useless. The wrestlers, they don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. They don't know whether to wind their watch or scratch their you-know-what. Okay? So basically, you enjoyed those matches? You had Chief J. Strongbow, you see him, he was around for a long, long time. He was a sensation. That's why they called him Sensational Chief J. Strongbow. He was a premier wrestler. He was in the tag team category. Let me go down the history one more time of the tag team that he was in. He was always in the tag team light, but he did venture off for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation against Superstar Billy Graham. You saw it right here on the Matt Classics, the match, the return match, and then you saw plenty more on Chief J. Strongbow. He might have been in the ring with Executioner. He might have been in the ring with that big feud with Peter Maivia, where Maivia attacked him on Hamburg TV, or it might have been Allentown, those two TV shows that were on 11 o'clock on Channel 56, WLVI TV, when Channel 56 used to host the great wrestling shows of yesteryear, when they had the ring announcer, my name is Joe McHugh, and all those great announcers like Buddy Wagner from Hamburg, and then they had the PA, Pennsylvania, where they had the other TV tape in Allentown, PA. Now, Chief J. Strongbow and Sonny King, they were the tag team champions. They beat, as I mentioned earlier on in the show, Baron Miguel Cicluna and King Curtis Ayakea, the big crazy man from Hawaii. And then Toro Tanaka and Mr. Fuji beat Sonny King and Chief J. Strongbow. And then Chief J. Strongbow and Billy White Wolf were tag team partners when they had another Indian come in. And he might be known as Sheik Undone Narkesi in the AWA, and turned from an Indian to a Sheik. As in wrestling, you can do that. Only in wrestling can you turn into an Indian and then turn back into a Sheik. And they wrestled, I believe, Billy White Wolf. They took the titles away from the Executioners on Allentown TV when the third Executioner came in. And basically, I was the third Executioner. They took the belts away from the Executioners, and then they had a tournament with Torquemada Stasiak along with the Executioners. And winning that tournament was Chief J. Strongbow and Billy White Wolf. Later on in his career, he picked up another tag team partner, which was another Samoan, Jules Strongbow. He became a Samoan. He was a Samoan, then he went into an Indian. So, like I said, only in professional wrestling can you be a Samoan and then turn into an Indian. Jules Strongbow, which I believe they defeated Saito and Fuji. And then the Samoans beat Jules Strongbow and Chief J. Strongbow. And then the title scene went a little, it went, all those tag teams that were After that was Dean Ho, Tony Garea. Then you had the Valiant Brothers, of course. Then you had DiNucci and Pat Barrett when Victor Vera vacated the title. It was Victor Vera and Dominic DiNucci. And then you can go way back to the Mongols, Beppo and Guido Mongo. They were the fierce international tag team champions. And when they left the Tri-WF in 1971, they wrestled. And then I believe Tarzan Tyler and Luke Graham. Then Rene Goulet and Kyle Gotch was in the picture. And the tag team titles go on and on and on, as you well know. If you're a historian of professional wrestling, you'll know these things. But where else can you see the great Matt Classics? Right here at the Matt Classics headquarters. That's right, your source of community cable right here in Revere. Great facility we have here. Great cameras, great work, great working ethnic with all the great people that are running Revere TV. You all know them. To mention their name, we got the guy that I want to get in the ring one of these days with the 747 splash. Rick promised I'll shoot him off the ropes. He'll hit those ropes with the velocity of a 747 airplane, come down and squash you like nobody's business. Then we have, that's right, we have the other one, the man, the CEO, Mr. Dunbar. And of course, my great partner right here, we want to, hopefully he's going to be around a little longer. He may be voyaging off to FLA. He might be getting a little cocoa butter on there, pick up a couple of girls down there in Fort Myers. That's right, you know him. You know him all, known as one of the greatest editors and workers here. That's right. You know him, Angel Baby, not the song, Angel the editor. And we got a new guy named Bob also that's here. And we have a great staff here that's helping out with all the other great shows on Revere TV. If you watch Revere TV, you'll know that we're the best, so forget the rest. If you want to see the best of community media TV, watch Revere TV. We have all the great things going on with all the great veteran shows and all the other shows that are on. And if you want to come to Revere TV and you want to be part of Matt Classics, you want to start editing and do your own show. Maybe you got a cooking show. Maybe you got a, you want a sewing show. Maybe you want to show someone how to make a little spaghetti in a meatball. You can come right here, sign up at Revere TV and have your own show just like me. Just like me, the best show on Revere TV. That's right, your source right here, the Boston bad boy, Rocky Raymond. Often imitated but never duplicated right here. And next week, the next new show, you're going to see the best of the Valiant Brothers, Handsome Jimmy, Luscious Johnny. And then they had a third Valiant, better known as Ben Justice down in the other areas. Ben Justice was known as the Stomper. Then they brought him in when they got rid of Jimmy Valiant. Jimmy Valiant went south. They brought in Ben Justice, and they called him Gentleman Jerry Valiant. That's right, and you're going to see it right here on your source of community cable, right here, Revere TV, all the great things. Look at this set. Is this like unbelievable? This set is like, oh, it's unbelievable. We got cameras in every direction. We got me from the right. We got me from the left. We got me from the front. We got it everywhere. We got it right here. So watch us each and every week. Keep it complete right here at your source. I keep saying your source because this is your station right here in Revere. This is something that you can get involved in. It's very easy to do. Just come on right up to Broadway, right over the Bank of America here, and come upstairs to the second floor, sign up, get your name on the list, take the course. You can become, maybe, hey, you might be shooting your own show in, 2015, 16, 17. We're going fast. Time is moving, and we are grooving right here at Revere TV. So we want to thank you each and every week for watching Legends of Professional Wrestling, as well as the many shows of the best of Empire Pro Wrestling. We have all the great legends where you saw maybe the Warlord, Demolition. The Sheik was here. You know, the Sheik was in this building right here. The Sheik, the original Sheik. That's right. The crazy man that he beat Hulk Hogan. He beat him in the middle of Madison Square Garden. He was here in your town in Revere, right here, doing that interview. You may have seen that on TV also. And we want to thank you again for watching the best of Empire Pro Wrestling, and of course the Legends of Professional Wrestling and the Matt Classics. So see you next time on Legends of Professional Wrestling.